Hello everyone. We make great speeches about protecting the environment. We write excellent poems about Mother Nature. We celebrate June 5th with such fervor and passion, and when it comes to protesting against someone or some entity, nobody can surpass our vigor. But all the evidence points to one thing: we bark but do not bite. In spite of all the verbal jugglery, we have failed as a group to practice what we preach. As we willingly sacrifice our ideals for a favor here or a favor there, or allow someone to build a wall of cash between our eyes and the atrocities on the other side, we as a nation, we as a state are letting down the future generations. There is development, but at what cost? Module 3 of Zeitgeist is titled Sustainable Development. This is an extremely important term for us Malayalis, as we have seen how Mother Nature has responded to our greed by causing heavy rainfall and floods. Several innocents have lost their homes, their valuable possessions, and their lives. Only when the government's hand is forced do they turn saviors of environment and act, as was the case with the flats in the coastal area which were demolished some time back. Even though we conduct studies and debates about protecting the environment, we as a group of educated and literate people hardly ever do something or act upon our studies and commissions. Commissions come, they submit reports, and they go. The governments come and they go. The reports just keep piling up. On one side, we have all these studies, and on the other side are the dead bodies of all the people who lost their lives to enable some powerful man's or woman's greed. Amidst all those claims of development, are we really developing, or are we digging deep into the earth and creating a burial pit for us and our children? Sustainable development is the idea that human societies must live and meet their needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Sustainable development. Specifically, sustainable development is a way of organizing society so that it can exist in the long term. This means taking into account both the imperatives present and those of the future, such as the preservation of the environment and natural resources, or social and economic equity. So how did the idea of sustainable development get relevant? The Industrial Revolution that happened in Europe is connected to the rise of this idea of sustainable development. From the second half of the 19th century, Western societies started to discover that their economic and industrial activities had a significant impact on the environment and the social balance. Several ecological and social crises took place in the world and rose awareness that a more sustainable model was needed. Sustainable development is important as it saves national budget, fulfills the need of people, conserves natural resources, helps in the coordination between the natural resources and people, and conserves natural resources for future generations. It is in this context that we must approach this module.